Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. So progressive Congress members Rashida Tlaib and Pramila Jayapal have introduced legislation that would provide every person in the United States with a one-time payment of $2,000 and then a $1,000 recurring monthly payment up until 1 year after the government declares an end to this COVID health emergency or until unemployment stabilizes at a low level. This legislation is called the Automatic Boost to Communities Act, or ABC for short, and they've proposed a unique way to fund this assistance to everyone. To fund this proposed legislation, what they plan on doing is allowing Congress to give authority to the Treasury Department to mint a $1 trillion platinum coin for as long as necessary. So they can mint multiple $1 trillion coins to pay for this. It's completely legitimate. It's easy to do. Essentially, the Treasury has the authority, they have the ability to create these coins in any denomination that they choose. Then they just deposit the coin at the Federal Reserve and they use the money to pay for the checks. It's that easy. This means that the U.S. incurs no additional debt, yet we could help to lift millions of people out of poverty, and it would provide average Americans with the help that they need to get through this pandemic, much in the same way that the government currently and has always printed money to bail out big banks and other too big to fail industries. They do this kind of stuff all the time. They just won't do it for average Americans. And unlike the most recent stimulus checks, there wouldn't be any of this means testing BS to determine who receives the check. Everyone gets it. So this ensures two things. It ensures that everyone who needs the help gets it, because that means testing left a lot of people to fend for themselves. They used the 2019 incomes for people to determine who would get the checks. And then they had a cutoff on top of that. That was asinine. How many people were doing completely fine in 2019 and even early 2020 up until the pandemic hit? And then they lost all of their income. How do you base it on a year that isn't relevant? That was so completely ridiculous. The second thing it does is it prevents animosity. It prevents animosity among people who receive the checks and then those who don't qualify. The reason that things like Social Security and Medicare have lasted and why people don't want them to be taken away is because everyone is entitled to these socialist programs. When you allow wealthy people to walk around feeling as if they're working just so that they can provide benefits to people who don't make as much as they do, complete strangers, it's easy for the right, it's easy for Republicans to then vilify those programs and to frame them as welfare and to otherize anyone who receives that assistance. When everyone receives something, and they all receive it in an equal amount, or as in the case of Social Security, when it's based on his or her lifetime earnings, everyone's happy. And they're not going to try to tear it down. They're not going to try to put an end to it. So I believe it's brilliant. I'm hopeful that even the ridiculous deficit hawk establishment hacks on both sides of the aisle can get on board with this. What reason would they have not to? That's my question. So if they start putting up a fight, if everyone 100% isn't on board with this, you have to ask yourself why. What is the real, true core issue with them? Do they seriously just not want everyone in America to do better? Do they just want to feel that they are superior because they have money? Because that's about the only reason that I can come up with for why every single congressperson, whether in the House or the Senate, wouldn't be on board with something like this. It doesn't add to the deficit, and it's totally simple, and everyone gets it. And people who make too much, they can just hit them with the taxes. We'll see. We'll see who really cares, who's really a public servant, and who is there just to make sure that the rich get to keep their status as the 1%. God forbid average Americans get ahead, right? We might actually have a say in how things go in this country. That could be the real reason. All right, guys, I'll keep you posted on this. As always, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.